So I've got a couple of quick offers to tell you about in this December 2022 update on the latest credit card news and deals. And then I'm going to talk about the American Express Shop Small promotion, which is back at the start of this month. So those micro offers, first of all, worth letting you know about. One of them is with Santander. If you apply for one of their credit cards by the 6th of December, so not long now, you will be able to get a £30 e-voucher to use at Amazon, John Lewis, Asda, hundreds of different retailers once you're accepted. Obviously, make sure you do an eligibility search first of all. That is just the golden rule with any credit card. Do an eligibility search first of all to check your chances of acceptance and then make a call. But as long as Santander accepts you by that date, you'll get that voucher, 30 quid. Pretty decent, I would say. Another offer that ends later in the month. I have told you about this before, but I'll give you a quick reminder. This is the John Lewis Partnership Credit Card. If you successfully apply for this card before the 31st of December, you'll then get triple points to spend when you spend at John Lewis and Waitrose. That makes it equivalent to 3.75% back. Very, very hard to beat that in terms of cashback and definitely in stoozing as well. So if you do shop at John Lewis and Waitrose, only those retailers, sadly, and that is a great offer to get. After that, it goes down to 1.25%, which is still pretty decent if you are regularly spending money there. Elsewhere, not a fan, 0.25% equivalent at other retailers, which can easily be beaten. And you also have to bear in mind here, you only get the money back when you hit £5 worth of points, and then you get a voucher worth £5 to spend in John Lewis or in Waitrose. Again, this is open only to new customers, but effectively, if you had a card before and it got closed, well, then you're a new customer anyway. So pretty much everyone is new right now, unless you've got it the last few months, in which case you've probably got that offer as well. And slightly different is an American Express deal. If you have the Platinum credit card, I know a lot of you might have taken this out because there were a couple of boosted offers this year, which you could have got a really, really nice number of points, as well as a little extras. So a lot of you did take advantage of this, although it isn't a card for everyone, and definitely not one I think you should keep all year round. However, if you have got one right now, don't forget that on 1st of January 2023, a couple of those key offers will reset. This is the £50 Harvey Nicks offer and £150 UK dining credit. There's also 150 quid for dining overseas, but I think that's very hard to actually use and take advantage of. So, okay, if you're abroad and you can use it, great, but otherwise, let's not focus on that. So you've got now just 3 or 4 weeks to spend 50 quid at Harvey Nicks and get 50 quid credit back to your account. You can spend more, you can spend less, but the most you'll get is how much you spend up to 50 quid. Spend 30 quid, get 30 quid back. Spend 70 quid, you'll get 50 quid back. Remember, this one runs twice a year. It runs from January to the end of June and the start of July until the end of December. So just make sure you haven't already used it since the 1st of July. But if you used it earlier in the year, then that's fine. And the dining credit one, £150. That one is an annual credit. So if you haven't used it yet, and you don't have to use it in one go, you can use it cumulatively in a number of participating restaurants to make sure your restaurant is taking part. And that list does change. So make sure you check it out if you haven't looked at it for a while. Make sure you use as much of that credit, if not all of that credit, before it resets. And obviously then, in the new year, you can use both those offers again. And I would encourage you, if you've been taking this card out just to get that promo deal, once you've got those bonus points and once you've taken advantage of that offer this year and the start of next year, then I would consider cancelling it. But as I've said before, when I've spoken about this offer, make sure you have another card that accepts Amex reward points, or you already transfer your points across. Because if you just cancel your card, you will lose all your accumulated points. So you need to have already used them elsewhere. Maybe that's then to Avios, then into Nectar points, even though, as I shared last month, the value has reduced. Or you've got them kept. I personally got the American Express reward card. It's a free card, and my points are kept active because I have that. Right, let's get on to the bulk of this episode, this video. This is the American Express Shop Small promotion. I'm a big fan of this deal. It's not as good as it used to be, but if you have an American Express card, you really need to take advantage of it from, well, it's already started. The time this video goes out, Saturday the 3rd of December. It runs until Monday the 12th of December. So hopefully if you're watching this when I release the video, you've still got a week to take advantage of it. If you don't know about it, this is the basics of it, right? You have to, as you do with most of these offers, including those Harvey Nicks and dining credit on the Platinum card that I mentioned, you have to go into your app and you have to activate the offer, or you can do it online banking as well. You can offers, activate Shop Small. You have to add it to your card. Really important you do that. Once you've done that, you can go to the American Express Shop Small map. Now, this is a bit of a fiddly. It's a bit of a pain to navigate it, but if you kind of zoom in on the map and use the filters, you can often find as many places taking part as you can. It's easier in smaller locations. It's much, much harder in places like London. However, on there, it will tell you all the places taking part. And eventually, this isn't just restaurants and shops. It can be bars, it can be dentists, it can be galleries, it could be, all sorts of different places. Don't think it's just about I've got to spend money in shops. Loads of different places you can go to. And when you do go to those places, those participating retailers, if you spend £15 at least with your Amex card where you've added that offer onto it, you'll get £5 credit added back to your card. Now, you can only use this 5 times, and you can only use it once at each retailer. So the maximum you're going to get back is 25 quid. Now, this is nowhere near as good as it used to be a few years ago when you got, it was £5 off a £10 spend, you could get up to 50 quid. So you could spend more money, obviously, to get that, but you could get a lot more back. But this is where it is now. I think it's still a really good offer to take advantage of if there are things you are happy to spend money on. There's no point buying something just to get a fiver off it if you don't really need it. But it's a great way to support small businesses and get a little bit of a saving for yourself. I've got a few hacks I want to quickly share with you. That's the basics, a few hacks to help you boost how much you can get from it, how much you can take advantage of it. That limit I told you about of once per retailer and 5 times in an offer, maximum 25 quid back, that is per card. So if you do have more than one American Express card, that's 2 separate cards. That's 2 times you can take advantage of the offer on its own terms. So that's a total of 50 quid potentially you could get back. And it also means you could repeat a retailer. So there's one shop or restaurant or bar you really like, you spend it on card A. Well, you can also do it on card B because it's a different card. So that is a great way to, again, maximize it. And if you have an additional card, a supplementary card for your partner or whoever it is you share the card with, remember it's in your name. So if they've got one, any spending they do is still your responsibility to pay off that bill. But that one, again, counts as a new card. So that potentially, let's say you've got 2 American Express cards in your name and 2 additional supplementary cards as well. That's 4 cards you could be taking advantage of. Now, you do have to add the offer to each card separately to go into the app. So if you've got a supplementary card, they'll have access on their own online banking, their own app for American Express to go in and add the offer. Make sure you do that. Otherwise, they will not get the money back in your account. So that's the kind of basics. There are a few other things that I like to do. I mentioned before that it's not just shops. I tend to use it a lot more in places like bars and in restaurants. Nice to sort of go out, support the local restaurants, like to keep them around. And obviously what you can do there, and this one is a little bit more sort of, be careful here, you can split the bill. So if you're out with someone who's also got an American Express, well, splitting the bill means you both get that £5 back. Where I would possibly be careful about this is splitting it on a supplementary card because it comes back to the same account. So but if you have an additional card, like a completely separate card rather than a supplementary card, there's no reason why you might not be able to split it that way, but just do be a little bit careful on that. I have seen reports in the past that people have had issues with that. I've done it personally and it's been fine, but just be careful there. So yeah, bars and restaurants, great way. And also sometimes easier to spend 15 quid on those places, get a little bit back. Sometimes it's been impossible to actually take advantage of all of the allowance I've got. Even though it's reduced, as I say, to 5 retailers per card, I have got a number of those Amex cards and supplementary cards. So what I've done occasionally is I've used them to buy gift vouchers. I'm not going to do it right now. I haven't got time to spend money right now, but I've bought some gift vouchers, gift cards from those nice independent bars, independent shops, places like that I can go back to, not necessarily in this short space of time, this short week, I can go back to next year and spend the money there. So that's great. 15 quid. You'll get £5 back to your card, but you've got 15 quid to spend at a later date. Just with gift cards, always really important to remember here that they can expire. And if you lose them, you can't replace them. And if the retailer goes bust, then you've also lost your money. So don't keep them sitting around for too long. Make sure you do, actually, I would say in 1 or 2 months, make sure you're back to those shops and use those gift cards, those gift vouchers if you can. The other thing to tell you about here is sometimes, very, very rarely, but sometimes, I always get maybe once a year, the offer doesn't track for whatever reason, doesn't appear on your card. So make sure you check your statement, check your app a month after and just see, has anything not come through? Make a list of the retailers you use. I know maybe you think it's a bit of faffy admin. It's worth doing it. Write down, if you've got more than one card as well, write down, I went to this shop or this bar or this, whatever it is, spent it on this card. And obviously you'll see it in your statement as well. And to make sure you can keep track so you can see, did that money come back? And you'll see it as a little £5 credit with the name of the retailer. If it doesn't, you have to phone up American Express or do a live chat and they will ask you to wait a while, which is why I say do it after a month. They would investigate. Every time I've had this in the past, they've checked, it was on the map. It's saying it's taking part on the map. So if it hasn't come through for whatever reason, they'll then credit your account. And also, this is a more awkward one that does sometimes happen. It might be listed on the map, but when you get there and go to pay, they say, I don't take American Express. Now, if you're in a shop, you could always go, if you're literally buying it at that place for the £5 credit rather than somewhere else, you can say, right, fine, bit embarrassing, but change your mind and walk away. That's much, much harder if you are in a restaurant or a bar where you've eaten the food or the drinks have already been served. You can't really turn away then and say, if they refuse to take American Express, that you're not going to pay. So you have that at the back of your mind that this could happen. When that has happened again, once again, I have got in contact with American Express and said, look, it's here on the map. Maybe take a screen grab. It's saying it's taking part. I went there on the reason for that and they refused to take it. And again, I've had that money refunded. So there you go. Got more information about my Shop Small hacks and tricks over on becleveryourcash.com. So make sure you check that out. Plus the others I spoke about, links to those. So do head over. My name's Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.